Hello and welcome to the Curse of Strahd, a customized D&D campaign played on Roll20. Jonan, take us away, my friend.
Alrighty. Welcome back to the Curse of Strahd, where our heroes, the Silver Stakes, are trapped in the land of Barovia, a land encased in mists and once ruled by the cruel vampire Strahd von Zarovich. Last time, after raiding Castle Ravenloft and collecting the dragon skull they were seeking, the group found their way back to Vallaki, only to find that it was under attack from monstrous forces. It was a long and chaotic battle, but you managed to win, even surviving the raft of the monstrous construct made from what appeared to be the witch's huts that could not hit for crap. I still can't believe that. Back in character. However,
it missed us every single time.
I don't know what you're talking about. The whole thing went over my head. I mean, every time it attacked, it went over my head.
Yes.
Back in character. However, it all appeared you managed to, whilst you did defeat it, and it prevented it from getting into town. It turns out it was all a distraction. As you quickly find out her real target was Irina. You run back into town and found the woman who claims to be the true mother of Strahd, the one who led the attack against the Ravens all those days ago, and the one who is trying to succeed Strahd, Baba Yasaga. She made her plans plain for you all. She will continue to invade Vallaki day after day, wearing it down until it eventually falls. Worse still, she intends to capture as many of your allies as she can find and turn them against you, as she has done with Irina, who you saw standing calmly inside of the giant skull she uses as transport. Sorry, I didn't make that clear the last time.
I totally thought the skull was Irina.
Yeah, I should clarify that. It was more of a transport, and Irina was inside. Right, but yeah, she finally told you that the only way to stop her doing all this is to return to Castle Ravenloft and face her there. It has been an hour since then. You've had a brief chance to rest before being called to an emergency meeting at the Borgo Master's house, which I will take you to right now. And yes, this qualifies as a short rest if anyone wants to roll hit dice or anything like that.
I'm fine.
I was a water elemental.
Yeah, Keldrin's probably the best of all of us.
Hey, does anybody want to mass cure wounds with one of all of these spell slots that I still got? I have two 5th level spell slots left. Should I do a mass cure wounds, y'all? I'm sorry, I'm gloating.
How injured is everybody? I actually, it wasn't a joke. The whole fight went over my head. Like, all the attacks did miss me, so I didn't take much damage.
I'm with the hit die I just rolled and the healing I got last session. I am fine, and all my fighter abilities are back. I'm gonna need a long rest for smites, but you know.
I'm at 2/3.
Okay.
In that case, I'm just gonna burn one of these because I think spell-wise I'm still at the best here. So this is gonna be 3d8 plus stuff. Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 4. For everyone who needs it, 18 total.
And with you taking the rest of the time to heal, you are eventually called to the Borgo Master's mansion. As you all head towards the door, one of the young guards on duty goes, hello everyone. Just before you step inside, he rummages through his pockets and finds, here's a letter from your half-orc friend. I didn't get the chance to speak. He kind of ran off. I didn't get the chance to get information. He just said, read it out to the Silver Stakes, which I presume is you guys?
That is the name we decided upon.
Very well then. He pulls it up and hands it over to you. I will include it in all your journals now, and I can read it, or Ward can read it out. It's up to
I
you.
would very much like Jonan to read it out in Ward's voice.
Oh, God. Okay. Alrighty.
I
Okay,
could read it in character as me, because he handed the letter to me.
Okay, well, I might as well get a taste of what Unreal had, so here we go. My friends, there's still mistakes. I'm sorry I could not be here when you returned. There is much to do in the wake of Strahd's destruction. But for now, Barovia is safe from destruction. And I have much on my mind. So much has happened during our travels. I find myself completely transformed from what I was when we began. But old scars take time to heal. With Strahd out of the picture, the temptation to confront Crowley weighs heavily on my mind. But I have vowed to lay down my arms, and I have taken a walk to find myself anew. My new path will take time to learn, so I entrust Crowley to you. Even after everything that happened, I hope you can dissuade it from darkness. But if it gives you no alternative, I don't hold it against you to do what must be done. Addendum. Jean, I've taken the liberty of investing in a new business in the old house of Lady Vodka, which I would like you to run in my stead if you have the time. It has fine drink from the Wizards of the Vine, and trade produce to the merchants in town. They always overcharge, so an agreeable price has been reached with some amount of threatening. I'm trying to change, but no one is perfect. So I invite you to visit Ward Backbreaker's Silver Steakhouse. And also, I kinda told everyone I slayed Strahd. I said it wasn't perfect. Farewell, my friends. Slayer of Strahd, Ward Backbreaker, Hero of Barovia.
Just as long as he didn't say that Ian Cognito slayed Strahd. That would be really...
That voice hurt my throat.
I like how he sort of somehow becomes Scottish as well.
Hey, you know what? Anger and claymores are the way of Scotland, and that is where that sentence ends.
On that, indeed. So, with that, the young man goes, if that's everything as well, the meeting has begun inside. They're all waiting for you.
I'm going to just, if he's handed over the letter, I'm just going to pocket it, do the classic, oh boy, and say, in ways, I suppose he will never change. Companions, shall we?
Alrighty. And with that, you all begin to enter inside. And the first thing you find when you go inside, sorry, I was meant to take you in, is Esmeralda casually sitting on a hay bale. She gives you away and goes, "Hey, how's it going? You're not too tired after that and chaos, are you?"
We took fewer blows than imagined. Are you doing well? I noted that you and Lavash were among the few that monstrosity actually managed to land a hit upon.
She says, "Well, a few. My ribs are going to be sore for days, but hey, after a few cure wounds and a visit to a priest can help, and a couple of potions, and a lot of alcohol. I don't know."
Alas, those days are behind me. But I wish you the speediest of recoveries. To business, I suppose.
Nods. They're all in there. I figured I'd sit it outside and just go with what everyone else does. I'm not much of a leader, and well, frankly, it's getting a little bit crowded in there. What's with the other guys from the village, the Vistani leader, that Danica woman, those two weird coat figures that showed up this morning. It's been crazy, honestly, the whole thing.
You have No idea.
Two weird coat people.
Yeah, they claim there was sort of some monster hunting act, I believe. They didn't really think. I think one was called Kane and the other one was called Banet, something like that.
Were they with Rictavio?
No, I think they're from some different monster hunting sect. There was another guy who who was with them at the start. He had like this. He had a similar coat, but it was drenched in blood, and he had like a weird hat on. I don't know where he is now, though. He didn't show up for this morning's.
Are they in there now?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, they're in there right now.
Okay.
I glance back and say specifically to Elias. I believe they have some association to a former friend of ours. Do you know of them?
No. I need to make a roll.
I'm going to oppose that roll with my insight.
Here we go.
Hey, that's not bad for Jean's surprisingly bad wisdom.
Oh my! I forgot how high your insight modifier is. Oh my!
Being an empath. Oh my god!
Double
Alright.
proficiency.
I mean, they seem to be telling the truth.
Well, we'll find out, won't we? Oh, everybody's trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every
On
roll.
the bandwagon, I suppose.
Okay.
This is the one you have to fear, MVL. Seth Rollin. See what
You called it.
You all get the sense that something's off, but you can't really explain why. You don't know whether it's just know whether it's them being cautious or something more specific. The only one who seems to get an inkling is Seth and Elias. I'll let you explain what he's catching on to.
Well, I guess what you would sort of see is fear immediately. Like, as soon as the mention of Crowley came up as well. You know what? I don't think it would be an incredibly wise idea to have the former ally of Strahd walk straight into this meeting. I think it might put people at ill ease, and explaining my trustworthiness now might take a little more persuasion than we have time for.
Do people know you were a former ally of Strahd?
I believe
'Cause we
only us
only-
here.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Anyway, we should take precaution, and I should go in by disguise. And Elias will cast Disguise Self, and will be one of the many guards they saw outside.
Fair enough.
I'll say, just for the sake of putting it out there. Well, the call is yours alone to make, but you have aided us, and so I at least would vouch for you in this instance, if it means anything.
Please, I would prefer if we just did not mention me in the meeting.
As you wish.
And that's such. You all take your time to enter the meeting room, which I'll just take you in there now. As you all open up in there, you see a bunch of some new ones.
Gods, it is crowded.
Yeah, you've got you see, as mentioned, Philip, the current Borgen master, and Octavio at the table, along with Leo, the current captain of the guard. You also see Lavash at the end of the table, once again with his feet up, because that's how Lavash is. Danica is chatting to Ismark, the ruler of the village of Barovia, not to be confused with the land of Barovia, and leaning against the wall in a kind of cocky and sort of nonchalant way are the two blood hunters you saw from earlier, wearing long dark coats. And as they see you come in, the blonde-haired one, who you guess is probably Kane, goes, "Oh, hey, nice to see you guys show up. You're very, very impressive back there, by the way."
Just leave it. We French, yes.
I'll just say, we have been called quite a lot of things along those lines. For what it's worth, the sentiment is appreciated. You acquitted yourselves well. You acquitted yourselves well also.
And his companion, who you presume was Banet, also speaks up and says, "Honestly, honestly, from Crowley's description, we thought that people would need more help than necessary, but seems that
you guys know Crowley, like for sure."
Yeah, he was the one that called all this in. He apparently made some desperate gambit. He knew.
Is he still a werewolf?
There was a brief pause, and then King goes, "Oh, did he not tell you?"
No.
He was not with us long enough to tell us much of anything, truth be told.
Bandit goes, that might explain some of the reactions then.
Could I insight check that, please?
Yeah, sure.
I don't believe John is lying out of game, so do I need to? That Crowley didn't tell me anything.
Yeah, I'll say A that. I'll say A. Yeah, you pretty much pick up on the fact that it's true. There's no need to roll this one because if nothing else, it's knowledge you guys already know in game anyway. So we can just assume that Elias is able to pick up on it, especially since Jean isn't really hiding.
Cool.
Yeah, and to be honest, he's such a blunt person that he's terrible at lying anyway. So you probably know that about him already.
I'm just gonna add this marker to show that Elias is disguised. But yeah, carrying on. Yeah, we are from a very distinct sect in that we can control light and blood. In a sense, Crowley was technically a werewolf when you met him, when he was assigned to this mission, and has been all this time. I'm imagining this deception of his of joining the werewolf group was a long game. He had said the only way he could figure of getting reinforcements was to join the werewolf group and use their, I guess for lack of a better word, free pass in and out of Barovia in order to get more help. Although, if he had told me that the situation was this chaotic, we might have brought on some more of us.
That
Wow.
would explain a few things.
What a douche.
As soon as you say that, sorry, go ahead.
I just sort of do that pointedly looking away so as not to snort during a council meeting, just...
Oh, sorry. I didn't.
Meanwhile,
I was...
funnily enough, as soon as you say that, in stark contrast to the shot, Kane doesn't hide his feet. He just goes... yeah, that explains quite a lot. And as you all stare at him, Bane, who notices also spider smile goes, yes, so we should probably explain. Crowley's not going to be here. See, he was originally intending to be part of this meeting, but, well, on our way to the meeting, we ran into someone. See, he was doing this whole thing about how he felt bad about betraying you all and wanted to give you all a solid apology. And the first person we ran into was a half-orc delivering a letter to a guard. And he walked up to him and was about to give a heartfelt apology. So he started off saying something like, I am glad that you are still yourself. I always knew you would survive. We are brothers.
Did Ward kill him?
And then halfway through the speech, the half-orc rams the letter into this poor guard's chest, and he is currently chasing Crowley around the town at this moment.
Yeah.
It's probably going to take them all day before that one's finished, so... we'll probably have to fill him in on that later.
I'll just... Okay, I have to ham this up, so pardon. Ron just does.
No, I feel that's valid.
Yeah, at this point for the sizing years. Anyway, since we're all gathered here, we know just about where everyone is. I think we need to decide on a plan of action. And as such, there was a brief moment where each of you fills each other on it, where you, as filling the others on answering their questions on what happened with Strahd, and Strahd clarifying that, well, technically, yes, Ward did kill Strahd. It wasn't entirely on his own, and you do explain everything else that happened. When you're finally all caught up to speed, this is Leo rubs his temple and goes, I see. Well, I guess our two options are, do we go on the offensive or stay here and hold out for as long as we can?
I mean, I'm not usually one to talk up and stuff, but I think that offensive is the only way to go.
I'll sort of rub at one side of my head and say, allowing them to come to us worked once. In these circumstances, given the intellectual abilities shown by this new enemy, I do not trust such a tactic to work again. We can make preparations to ensure that the path we take stands a better that the offensive we make stands a better chance of succeeding. But other than that, I believe it comes to one final offensive as soon as we can manage.
That's look like it just goes. I mean, it is kind of insane though. This is like gambling everything or nothing. If this offense loses, we're all dead. We will be fucking screwed. And at this point, sorry, go ahead.
But we will either way.
Yeah, I don't fancy your chances in a war of attrition against her, to be honest. The offensive is the only way.
And as quickly as possible before she takes more of us.
I'll nod looking at Lavash and say, it is madness, but my companions make all the point that needs to be made at this stage. We can attempt to stay where we are, and we can attempt to stay in Vallaki and set up defenses. But quite the contrast to Strahd. That is exactly what Baba Lysaga is banking on. wearing us down and picking us off one by one.
At this, you see that Octavio, who's just been sitting and listening patiently to the conversation, cracks a smile. He goes, "They do all indeed speak sense. Frankly, it took us enough just to, of all the troops we have here. We have, there's not really enough to survive a long siege. And with, it's honestly took us too long to get to this level. We have to use everything we have at once. It's the only way. And we also have to be and they also have to. They're also coming to one fact. His eyes looks at all of you. Much as it pains me as a professional to admit this, you fellows, as the ones who could actually fight against Strahd and defeat him, no less, are the only ones who have the chance of defeating Baba in one-on-one combat. Therefore, whatever tactic we make, we have to ensure that these people are as fresh as possible. That means during the charge, it'll be the main army that takes the bulk of the damage. It has to be. It's the only way to...
Unless we just poof into Castle Ravenloft again.
At this point, Danica speaks up and goes, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it would be an option were it not for the Amber Temple being at this point weeks away from us.
Did I do a sleight of hand to whisper into Jean's ear?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Whilst making that roll, Danica also says, plus, from everything you told me, it was... The teleportation doesn't really allow that kind of thing. It's a miracle that any of you managed to get... It frankly is a miracle that you even managed to teleport into Strahd's castle. I don't think it's something that you can attempt again.
We have a crazy wizard, and we have a way of possibly helping him now. He might know teleportation.
At this point, Bonnet speaks up and goes, any plan that relies on someone who you freely admit is crazy is a bit awkward.
What I'd like to whisper is we might be able to sneak in with invisibility. Or something like that.
I do have a dust of disappearance, y'all! It's a thing that we have.
Okay. Well, no one hears you, so you're able to whisper that.
I'll say addressing Benet. Well, normally I would be in agreement with you, but in our travels we've acquired what we believe might be a means of curing him, quite more reliably than any power we possess naturally.
But we almost can trust him less if he's cured than what he is like now.
I was aware of Mordenkainen, right? I was the one who rolled that
I thought we
knowledge.
were on about the Lich still, because you said about being crazy.
No.
I meant the wizard. I meant Mordekainen.
Okay, so yeah, I mean the answer yes. I'd say that you are definitely, even if you don't know, you're aware of him through cultural osmosis, for lack of a better term. You know he exists and he's meant to be a wizard, but you don't really know his whole deal.
Yeah, I'll say in that case, I confess to paying woeful attention during history lessons and many other lessons, but I will offer this to you. Does the name Mordenkainen ring a bell with any of you?
It's funny, you can gain like a reaction throughout everyone. It's Rictavio, Bonnet, and Kane are the only ones who really raise an eyebrow at that. And Rictavio goes, Are you seriously telling me someone like that is currently locked in the pantry?
As near as I can tell, we managed to break through his insanity long enough to glean a name from him, and I believe he is in no position to lie.
Also, Elias, if you want, you can make an intelligence check to see if you've heard of him as well.
I will do.
And whilst you're doing that, Sizer goes, very well then. Here's my proposition. As much as I would love to wait a bit more, I think, as you said, we've gathered as many forces as we could, and if we wait too long, she's going to attack again and drain what little we have. I will work with Leo and Rictavio to discuss a more formal battle strategy, but until then, and take care of any remaining details you have and get a good night's sleep.
I will add to their discussion. Indeed. And if all goes well, I may have reinforcements for you by the dawn. Forces of the Order of the Silver Dragon.
This time round, Rictavio, Bunny, and Cade don't really react at all, but the others kind of raise them. As it goes, if you can pull it off, it would be impressive. But like I said, whatever you do it quickly. Dawn is our deadline.
What is the time right now?
The time, it's still around, I want to say, 11 o'clock-ish. Because you started, believe it or not, you started the whole Amber Temple thing in the middle of the night, because you arrived at morning, slept because you had an insane battle, and then you started late at night, then went into Ravenloft, and then went into the battle. So that all ended up happening very early in the morning.
Cool. How far away is the Amber, not the Amber Temple, the Silver Dragon?
A couple of hours away.
How far away is Kresk?
I will say that, Elias, you are in a similar position as John in that you are aware more than kind of through like cultural osmosis. From your background, I'll say you heard of his name and how powerful he was, but you don't know much more than.
May I also ask how long has the meeting been going on?
I will say roughly about half an hour-ish by the time you finished explaining literally everything that went on.
Okay, I've got a good half an hour left.
Okay.
So we need a wagon so that we can put the skull on it. We need a couple hours to the Silver Temple. Silver Argynvost halt. That there's no temple and there's the Silver Dragon.
Yeah.
And then, depending on how far away Kresk is, we could try and hit up the grave of the healer. But it's not necessary, I think.
Did you ask about if Clankers came back?
I mean, Clankers is weeks away, man.
Okay, so it's.
I think he just fell down a hill.
Probably.
Nah,
Just stuck somewhere.
Okay.
Clankers EXE failed to run.
Okay, it's about 9 hours away. It's like the furthest one of your locations, which give it's 9 miles away, which walking would take you about just under an hour. I think it's really surprisingly small. So,
oh my gosh, guys, we can hit up both places and come back and sleep. And at dawn, we march.
Indeed. So, anything you want to do in Barovia before or anything happens?
Could I have made some arrows during the downtime from the treants? Or if that's not useful wood, then just normal wood?
I will say yes, because it was a short rest, so it would have been technically an hour. So,
I need to at
do
least.
You need to check for the amount of arrows or anything, or?
Make me a. I will say.
I will assist him with druidcraft.
Okay, in that case, make me a dexterity check with advantage and proficiency because it's your job. You've done this type of thing before.
I need to at least purchase bolts, at the very least.
But I will
Okay.
actually inquire about if anyone has seen clankers.
Everyone raises an eyebrow and goes, I'm afraid no, we've not seen that.
I do not know what you're talking about. Talk to me later.
I will say with that check, that gives you about 9 hours in total. Alrighty.
Before we leave, port of call, cure Mordenkainen.
Okay.
I will assist with that. I still
Alright.
have remove curse, if that's of any use now.
Do we wanna hit him with both at the same time? A greater restoration and a remove curse, like at the same time?
I'll also assist with lay on hands like I did last time. I believe I still actually have that.
The old
Okay.
1-2 combo.
In that case, I'll just get you all into that room.
After everyone leaves, as a guard, I'm going to go up to the...
Sorry, as a guard.
Look out.
Sorry, you cut out there. You want them to look out for who exactly?
Ask them if they want me to look out for anyone in particular.
Okay, you you ask them this, and then they go, "Well, that applies to literally everyone at the moment." He says, "Honestly, I'll just keep an eye on that werewolf girl that was with them. That's about all I'll say at the moment. There are also reports of a drow, but honestly, we get drow are so far spread. I seriously doubt. I seriously doubt that what the particular one we're looking for would be anywhere near this area. So pay no heed. Focus on the battle, son." And with that, they walk away.
Silently nods, internally terrified. Does anyone I'm currently in?
Yes, they've all they've pretty much all single filed.
Alright, gotta get out the old disguise kit. Gonna powder my skin pale, boot polish the hair black, and then put that disguise I had. Man, the only thing I've got is the dress. It's gonna have to be the dress. Gonna have to put on the dress. That's the only thing I've got. Are there any are there any clothing around here? I need to steal clothes like immediately.
Let's see. Yeah, upstairs. If you I'll tell you what. Make me an investigation check.
Yeah, you know what? At level 12, when I get the next feat, I'm taking the investigation feat because I took proficiency. I will double proficiency in insight, and I've regretted it ever since. I should have taken investigation. But yeah, okay. So let's do that. If I fail this, I've got to put on the dress, so that's a thing. Yeah.
Can just imagine like Elias just walking into town like, I need your clothes, your boots, and your stubborn mule.
You rummage through. It seems that most of the stuff is cleared out already. Unfortunately, you've been able to find a couple of undershirts, but nothing that can really cover the entire body.
The party will have questions, but I am gonna put on the dress. So it was a fine dress. It was for one of Strahd's brides, I think. So
Was
I
or from the vault?
I think.
Yeah, wherever that was
I
it. Sorry.
think Elias is going to be astonished at how little this party questions anything.
We've learned not to.
Step into the scene as everyone else is already and they see there was and they Wizard Morden bounces his chair, going, "Ah, I do not know what this chair is, but it's immune to all time stops. I will never, never surrender to you people or you lovely woman that enters."
How good is this disguise? Like, I'm assuming we still recognize Elias, or do we have to roll? Are we going to be like, excuse me, ma'am?
It is
This is a
incredibly
private
convincing.
function.
I just did a roll there for my applying of the boot polish and the pigment to the skin.
Make me insight checks. Why not?
All the bonuses in the world don't matter much if you roll a 3.
No joke. No joke. Ian just cracked about it, but I'm going to look aside as Mordenkainen's ranting. I Elias and say, good day, ma'am. This is a. Could we ask you to leave?
I put my hand over my mouth and cast the message spell, and I message Jean that I am Elias.
Oh, of course.
What do you mean, of course? I mean, you can watch. That's a nice dress. I feel like I've seen it before.
I'm going to, you did roll the highest. I'm going to drop my voice to the others and say, Elias.
Oh.
Of course.
Okay, let's fix this wizard.
Okay, so in what order are you doing this in?
Keldrin obviously could go first with Greater Restoration because that's its stated purpose.
Ideally, all 3 at once.
Yeah, I thought the whole point was we were going to just...
Combo breaker.
Yeah. Just brute force the curse away from him.
Alrighty. So, with that, you all gather around him. Is this... Are you using the spell or the charm?
I'm using the charm. I'm using 4 charges off the charm for Greater Restoration.
Okay.
Because we still don't have fucking diamonds!
I was double checking that. Okay, so...
I'm keeping track!
Okay.
just before we commence the spell, I will just say, don't worry, this probably won't hurt.
Aha! Well, that was good. I was afraid you were all going to eviscerate me. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Carry on. And so, with that, you begin to apply the spells one by one. It's glowing, but he still seems to be ranting, and it just seems to be ranting and not really paying me attention, going, "Aha, you fools! This warm feeling is only going to make me stronger." And it's at that point, Keldrin, that you focus and take a deep breath, and then raise the arm in front of him. The energy starts to glow, and you see his eyes suddenly begin to widen and dilate. So he just sort of starts twitching, and he goes, "Ha! I don't see what you're doing. Just what have I been doing?"
Hello, Mr. Mordenkainen, sir.
He looks up at you, and for the first time, you see that his face is completely different from the mad wizard you've been seeing all this time. His expression is now more stern, and you can see his eyes are sort of making subtle movements, reading the room with a wisdom, an intellect that you have yet to see from either him or anyone else so far. And he slowly raises up and goes, "Thank you. May I have your names?"
I glance at Keldrin and say, "Well, you're the hero of the hour."
I mean, technically, it's whoever made this necklace, but sure. Hi, I'm Keldrin.
He smiles and bows his head respectfully, going, "Keldrin, I have you and your comrades to thank."
That's Maldrath. He's got super good healing magic, and he helped a lot. And he snapped you out the last time. And that's John. John, I don't say his name a lot. He's super good at hitting people, and that back there is Elias, who looks really good in a dress, and I'm kind of surprised. And that's Seth, who kills everything that he focuses on. And we're trying to, we've already killed Strahd, and now we're trying to kill his mother?
He takes a few moments staring at you all, as if he's trying to take this in, and he goes, "Oh, it feels all like some kind of... It feels like being in the dream after living in a nightmare. You have done what I tried to do and failed so long ago."
Have you any idea how long you've been here?
His eyes. "I'm afraid not. All I know is I gathered a force of brave citizens, or at least I thought they were brave, and marched them on Castle Ravenloft to earn their freedom, but I underestimated the terror Strahd held over them. So I was forced to battle him one-on-one. But he was crafty, and he had managed to separate me from my spell books and left me wander in the woods. And then it all becomes a murky haze. I searched high and low from a spell book, convinced that it was the only thing that could save me, and I became lost in my own head, just blinded by this fear that I was never going to defeat Strahd, that I is a failure."
So, guess what's happening tomorrow?
I was gonna add, actually. Well, the man who reduced you to such a sorry state to begin with is no more. He came to us, and I sort of tap the sun sword at my waist and say, "In what little light of day there is in this place, we killed him, specifically a former ally of ours. And at dawn, we marched to break this curse once and for all."
So, question. Theoretically, if we knew a place that Strahd knew he could use to teleport to, not teleport from, but teleport to, could you maybe, reverse engineer it to, put us into Castle Ravenloft?
He strokes his beard for a moment as he thinks, and goes, "I'm afraid, without having some knowledge of that magic, or without the access to any of my books, I'm afraid that will not be possible. But
Okay.
as soon as that, I will..." For the record, I'm just going to assume that you guys have untied him from the chair at this point. So
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. At this point, he makes his way towards the door and says, "Regardless, I will speak with your commanding officers, and you will have my aid in the coming battle. But first, I need to go and find my spell books."
Wait, are you going crazy again, or do you actually know where they are now?
He smiled. "No, I have my wits about me, and I have ways of specifically locating it. Plus," he smiles and looks back at you, I have renewed confidence in myself. I have you to thank. I'll be sure to credit you in my next manuscript.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
wait. That's also out there. Oh, Lord, I need to find it. As he starts walking away, you can hear him muttering under his breath, there is absolutely no way I'm going to lose to that upstart Volo before anything gets published. And then he starts walking.
Please don't mention names as he leaves.
I'll say to the others, well, it means that our path will be direct after all, but it seems we've untied one knot at least.
All time.
Well,
so it seems.
Speaking of a bind, I have to level with you. At least two things. One, yes, I'm a girl. Two, those monster hunters are looking for me.
Oh, should you disguise yourself back as a boy then? Are they not going to be looking for you then? Or is...
Unless they're looking for a boy.
Very confused. I'm very confused.
This was the only change of clothes I had, and they're looking for a drow immediately. Maybe looking for me, I don't know. I will...
Who are they? Why are they looking for you?
I will fill you in. But when we're somewhere safe.
If you
Sounds
want,
fine.
I can lend you my cowl. It's fairly concealing. I doubt anybody's going to be looking for another one of me.
I feel reasonably well disguised.
I'll say I trust your intentions based upon your actions thus far. To that end, I suggest that we have any final conversations we mean to share once we have reached Argenvostold.
Oof. What are we going to do about Gertruda?
Her mum lives in the Barovia, doesn't she?
She does, yes.
I'll say I wish to ask her questions before I return her there. From my understanding, she ran away before Strahd sank his claws in her, and parents are not always safe haven.
I mean, none of us ever met her mom, did we? No, we did. I don't remember anything. Skull time?
No, it was only Warden.
Crowley. Ward and Crowley were the only ones that went to meet her, and you only found out from Ward much later on, so you technically have never met her.
Well,
Skull time.
I will actually say to this end, because it's been on my mind, I suggest for the time being we alert Leo to the situation and have him watch after her. When we return and all is said and done, we will see what can be made of the situation.
Let's grab a cart and do a skull.
Very well. Okay, so are you doing anything else in town, or are you going straight there?
Okay, question. I have been wearing the same plate armor, the same chainmail armor, for 3 years. Is there any better armor in town? Because my AC has been stuck at 18, and I'm the only tank. Oh no.
Unfortunately, that's the wrong one. Unfortunately, not really. It's very basic supplies.
Barovia says fuck you!
I think we're all pretty
Basically,
much
yeah.
in the same situation.
In which case, I would just request anyone going out to grab me a quiver of crossbow bolts.
I'm going for arrows anyway, so and I need to pay for the ones I took before.
I will give the coinage.
Even right now, we are wealthier than we've ever been, with 250 gold.
So, with that,
Actually,
we will quit. Sorry.
I'm gonna, not as a sort of bribe,
Oh, wait for a map.
but I will hand over. In my jewelry box, there is a number of items that I will just hand over to the group. Not as a bribe. Keep silent about me. There is 3 gold rings with 25 gold pieces each, and a thin platinum necklace with a topaz pendant worth 750 gold pieces.
Sweet mother of God! I forgot you had that. How about we pay for? How about we pay for our arrows with? We pay for the arrows with the gold rings because even with the price gouging, I'm sure that'll be enough.
I mean, one would be more than enough.
I was just
going to
say, how expensive are these arrows?
Yeah,
well,
it shouldn't cost that much.
Keep in mind that there's like 100-fold tax applied to everything we buy here.
I mean,
Still,
if we're gonna sleep, I could steal them.
Also, I'm pretty sure that we should have quite a lot of goodwill with these people after we saved their lives countless times already.
Twice now. We have come in 2 major invasions.
Just saying, I can go invisible. Just saying.
As you I'll say, as you walk out to the stockyard, you see the husband and wife running this place. They look up to you, and you can see they're kind of. Hello, good sirs. What do you need? We're having a invasion bargain sale. I don't know. Look, what do you want?
Arrows and bolts, ideally, for my 2 companions.
And a cart.
A quiver each. And a cart, if you can provide one, or someone here can provide one.
Okay, yeah, the bolts we can provide for. Hang on, and they hand over. How many bolts and arrows are you looking for?
I think we're just going for one quiver each, right? Yeah.
Yeah, quiver is 20 each.
Okay, they give you. They place 2 quivers on the desk, and then they start whispering amongst themselves. You can make perception checks if you wish.
I will. Perception.
There we go. Okay.
Oh my days.
Aldraff, Aldraff and Sean, you don't hear anything. Seth and Elias are pretty good at it. You are pretty much. This is your specialty, so you listen out and you can hear the 2 of them go. The fuck? They want a fucking cart? Are they planning to run us dry? The wife is arguing, but yeah, but you know what happened. Not only did we have that crazy half-orc down on this, but the city's coming and said that we have to support them at all costs. Do you really want to get in trouble with them again? We barely got out of the last the scandal we were in. Then he walks back and then goes, "Oh, looky here, we just have a cart over here. Then it's all yours. Heroes of the city, it's all yours.
I will.
Please, back in one piece."
I will say to them, actually, your generosity is appreciated, and for the record, I'll step forward and place one of the 25 GP gold rings on the table just as some manner of compensation. I believe you operate a necessary service, but in future, when all is said and done, and the curse is lifted on this place, perhaps consider the value of honesty.
Make me a persuasion check.
Come on, you magnificent French bastard. I've never wanted you to roll high on a flavor roll like this before. 20.
pretty well. At first, they had just sort of snatched up the ring. They were about to look at it, but then they hit the young words and they go, "Oh, yeah, sure, but we'll give it some thought. Thank you."
Also, that way you'll get return customers. It's not a bad business choice.
I'll give them sort of not a smile of any sort, but just a nod and say, you would be amazed how far you get in life, being conscious of your own actions. Companions, let's end this.
Whilst I'm around shops and everything, could I buy a length of rope, because I seem to have issues scaling things and avoiding holes in the ground? More rope could be handy.
They also hand over rope along with the ever from before. And seeing as the Yostris MVL has apparently gone on a break, now would be a good time for us to do so as well, I guess.
Also, did we get him some other clothes?
That's a good question. Whilst we're still recording, we'll say we'll manage to get him some basic traveling clothes from citizens. They're not going to be flashy or anything like that, but with them, they can pass as just a regular. They can pass as a regular. They can pass as a regular citizen of either gender. There's two sets.
Yeah, to be fair, that's the best. Like, you don't want flashy clothes.
Yeah, and like doesn't have to be special or anything. I don't believe Elias would want flashy, just like road leathers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much what they get. And yes, whilst MVL is on his break, don't go anywhere, guys, because we will switch to him for 5 seconds and be right back in the action. So don't go anywhere.
That's the end of part 1. Part 2 is coming up right now, so don't go anywhere. If you like what you see, make sure to hit that like button or leave a comment to let us know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content. And with that said, here's part 2. Welcome back to the Curse of Strahd.
Aye. So, we begin with the group making their way first off to Argenvost, which is making their way down this way every couple of hours. But actually, before all you can leave town, however, you see that a bunch of the soldiers outside are letting a bit tense, so they're going, "Oh God, we need your help. There's this thing approaching us," and they point towards the shadows. A figure is slowly marching through the trees. You see, indeed, Clankers, the animated armor, arrives on the scene. Looking unbelievably battered.
No.
All over the place. You can make me an investigation check if you want, but yeah, he's looking pretty torn apart right now.
Clankers, what did they do to you?
Did he roll down the mountain?
Again,
I mean, that's one way to cut the travel short.
Does anyone actually have any good investigation? Oh, never mind. Of course.
Of course, Seth does.
You notice, you all have a look at Seth. You take a closer look, and you do recognize some of the scrapings. It's there was two things that are very distinct. It looks like, as Pam suggested out of character, something. It appears that he did slide down the mountain, but noticeably there also appears to be 2 knee-sized dents in his back. And with that high roll, you do a quick mental calculation in your head, and you just go, "Oh no, that's how Ward got down the mountain so fast, isn't it?"
He surfed clankers down the mountain. Did someone die in one of your Horde of the Dragon Queen runs by surfing someone down a mountain?
It is something some of the characters did.
I feel offended in my very soul that you could ride money down a mountain.
Okay, so I'm just gonna.
He's more money than Clankers at this point.
I will say, MVL did not make that decision, but as Ward approves, probably would have made that decision. So it's fine.
MVL didn't make the decision, but he endorses it.
Okay, I'm just gonna make a couple of rolls quickly. Gonna do the advanced dice roll for this. So. Let's go with
there's gonna be
10 of that.
There's gonna be 2 coins left.
Shush.
And that one of that.
My
Okay.
inventory is out and ready. What happened?
Just not saying this now. Ward owes us the difference to anything missing.
Okay, so officially you have lost 250 gold. This is just the coins, not the items inside it specifically. But in terms of the gold, I'm adding a 0 onto each of these numbers. So you have lost 250 gold. To 780 electrum, 840 silver, and 901 copper. So not as bad, but considerable.
Okay, that's fine.
So,
I look at him as Seth points
Editing
this
now.
I look at him as Seth points this out. Just close my eyes and say, he rode our money down the side of the mountain.
He wouldn't have been Ward otherwise.
This is partially why I waited for him to leave before I joined you.
Kellenvor, forgive me, but my god. Shouldn't have resurrected him, son of a gun. If I'd known what he would do.
I just shake my head and say, I am somehow both bewildered and utterly unsurprised.
Well, that's one way to put the money back into circulation in Barovia.
It's somewhere on the mountain.
People are going to be scavenging the mountainside for years to come.
Years from now, have you ever heard tell of the legendary treasure of Mount Barask? They say. Okay, so Clankers is now back in your party, looking worse for wear, but still around. And
Can we stash the money somewhere?
I was just going to say, I doubt there's a bank in this place. And if there is, I doubt it's secure.
so I guess for now it's staying inside Clankers, unless you want to tell him to stay somewhere you think is safe with people you trust.
I mean, I guess
I'm
Could
going
be
to
the bottom of the lake.
Oh god, no, the money would float out. I'll say in character.
Money doesn't float.
Okay, to sink out of him. I'll say in character. For now, we could put him in the pantry Mordenkainen just left.
I mean, there's always the church as well. I mean, he's still going to be a decent guard for if anyone needs a guard here.
Maljas just reminded me I need to go to the church and return the bone of the saint.
Oh yes.
Guys, fucking Clankers lost half of our gold pieces.
Technically, Ward lost half.
We had 500. We have lost 250. Okay, Nicola, calm down.
I mean,
Okay.
we're going back to the castle anyway, so we might be able to pick up some more because we didn't take all of it, did we?
And don't forget the items you stuffed in here that they're still safe, so you can still sell some of them to get the gold back. It's literally just the loose coins that was in Clankers.
Maybe we should have picked up some bags.
In any case, Seth makes a very good point.
Okay, so you go back to the. So you very quickly go back to the church, and the priest pops in there and go, "Oh, hello. Good to see you safe and sound. Apologies about Irina. I mean, I tried to keep her inside, but at that point, her werewolf inside was out of control. I'm sorry."
We're sure you did everything you could.
She's like, "So, how can I help?"
On our travels in Ravenloft, we came across this bone. It feels like it belongs here. And I'll take out the thigh bone and hand it over.
Okay. She picks it up, looks at it, and goes, "Wow, it." At first she's like, looking at you a bit. She looks at you a bit oddly, like, okay. But as soon as she touches it and feels the holy power within it, her eyes widen. She completely gets the color. Wow, yes, this is a incredible artifact. Where did you find this? Are there any clues as to what this is?
We found it in a cell in one of Strahd's victims, many victims. Did we get the name?
I believe it was
Saint Markovia's thigh bone. Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead.
That's fine.
Saint Marikova.
See, her eyes widen, and as you say the name, and she looks and goes, "Then this is sacred." She was, in the days before Strahd took over, she was one of the greatest saints of the country. See, he looks at you and goes, "Thank you. With this at our side, I somehow feel that there is hope again in this land after all."
Dawn is only ever around the corner.
Smart. Indeed. Thank you.
Call me a sap, but that line just made me really happy, Seth.
They haven't seen one for a while.
True. And with that, you continue. No, you continue on your journey. Actually, have you decided what you? I'll say that you leave Clankers, unless anyone has the different ideas. I'll say you leave Clankers in the pantry for now, with the strict instructions to not touch him or look inside him at any point.
Well, is Lily not about?
Lily, I'll say that she's. Are you telling her to guard Clankers?
Well, I was just saying they could hang around together or whatever.
Okay.
No one's gonna mess with an animated suit of armor and a werewolf. Like, I mean, it's just exponentially more problems than it's worth to try and mess with those two.
She's at first she's looks concerned, and all right, promise you'll be back swiftly, Seth.
I'll be back as soon as I can.
He smiles and goes, "All right, and when you get back, I need to know the full story of why you accepted that gift."
If I told you now, I wouldn't be able to leave.
And on that ominous note,
don't worry, Clankers, I'll be back for breakfast.
I'm just imagining you're on top of the wagon waving a handkerchief.
It's almost. I'm sort of imagining like that scene in the Wind Waker where you're just going. And on that considerably lighter note, we you continue the parcel. Past all of the deep into the forest along the paths that have become familiar to you over time. And
when we're out of town, could we stop in a secluded-ish place so I can change into my armor? Like, not right next to everybody in the wagon.
I will say, at your request, they briefly stop at the crossroads, and you quickly go to investigate the woods.
I mean, just a little bit of privacy rather than getting changed right next to everybody.
It's okay, Elias needs to pee.
Everybody avert your eyes. Stare down at the holy ground.
And whilst doing that, Elias, make me a perception check.
Naturally. Okay.
It's Crowley being a peeping Tom. I'm going to murder him.
Okay.
Or has Leo followed the new lady?
You, as you get any especially changing into your new disguise, you suddenly notice something. At first, you're like, this is good thing. This bit of the woods is. But then you suddenly realize something. That's not normal. Like this entire forest, there's like almost no sound. It's like everything seems to have deserted. There's not the sound of anything rustling nearby. No bird song. No sign under tracks anywhere. It's like everything. The natural order has been disrupted, and everything's just on pause or has been moved somewhere else.
Gonna go back to the wagon, but keeping a good eye out.
Okay. And
things aren't normal in the woods. Seems
normal
like
for normal woods or normal for here woods?
even for here, there's nothing. An absence
Didn't see any hanged ghosts, did you? Because they're about.
no,
I wasn't looking.
Not.
But I could investigate.
I'll say, like as not, it's like as not, it's most probably an effect of that woman.
Well,
And
that and the druids that we saw earlier were kind of deranged.
indeed,
Yeah, we have had run-ins with druids before that have been less than friendly.
the new enemy we face has command of a nature, so it seems likely that this is another effect of that.
Well then, should we be on our way?
I got my wild shapes back with the short rest. So Keldrin is going to transform into a giant eagle, and she's just gonna go up and kind of circle over the cart as we continue and like keep a lookout on the forest and on the cart.
Okay then. In that case, make me a perception check with advantage. Just because you're an eagle and it's based on sight. Nice. So you continue to fly around, and it's disturbing that you can confirm what a lot has told you. There's no sign of any activity ahead, but you also, Ada, that you're circling around, you seem to notice that the only sign of it is going frenzy. You take a quick glance up back towards Castle Ravenloft, and you see that over there, it seems like tree is aching, and there are multiple shapes moving out in that general direction. It's like everything's converging onto that one spot.
Well, that's distressing. Can I kind of go very high up, but in that direction, but still make it like I don't want to go all the way there, but just a little bit closer, so that I can still make it to Argynvost at the same time as the cart does? Just kind of make a little bit of a detour to see if I can get closer before I curve back around?
I will say that you... I would say you will probably be able to get as far as here, because Ravenloft is quite a distance away. It's over this side of the map.
I see, all right.
So if we go back to here, I will allow you to get higher and make another perception check, because that's...
Yeah, I basically just want to gauge in how much trouble we are actually in.
Okay.
Meh.
Unfortunately, with the tree line and the outcrop, it's difficult to know exactly what you're up against. All you know is that there seems to be a large number of shapes all circulating around, and all circulating around Ravenloft. So you don't know if it's something, if it's that army that Elias mentioned earlier, or something. And as you float down, I will say that your attention then gets caught as you suddenly turn your eyes back towards the House of Argynvost, and you see that there is a figure standing outside, waiting for you all. And you have enough time to alert the others of this as we move on to...
Something wait for us! Someone's there! Someone's there! Ow!
In classic Kelvin pattern.
Ow! Ow!
Nothing so graceful as an eagle.
Yeah, it's the first that's not an eagle. That sucks.
Oh my god, out of character, I knew it.
As you arrive at the... as you finally arrive at the... also, you step off the wagon and you see the traditional figure. He looks a little bit different, as once again he swapped bodies. But Jean, you recognize him instantly, just from the body language and the general aura, because, well, you've met this guy before. Once again, it is Vladimir. It is Vladimir Horngard, the current leader of the Order of the Silver Dragon. As he sees you approach, he picks up a long swords and takes a couple of steps forward and goes, Jean-Gaspard de Varier, we meet again.
So it seems. I'll dismount Andre and just leave him with the others. I have come to finish your duty, Commander Horngard, and return the remains of Argynvost to their rightful place.
He raises an eye at that, then looks at the dragons. Oh, and I go, So you have reclaimed them. This is a good deed, but unfortunately, it matters not to me now.
I cast flame arrows on Seth's quiver.
You say that, but I'm going to say, return back. I'm going to say to the others, in past, I have confronted this man with the aid of all of you. But no matter what happens, do not intervene.
This one thing is, I see. So you wanted this to be one-on-one? Very well. He steps forward, tightening his grip on his blade, turning around, and he goes, "I suppose it is perfect. After all, you are the only one I have my Orion." He raises his blade and points at you and goes, The other revenants have long since disappeared, I'm afraid. Their duty was to take out Strahd, but you've done that. So, it is left to me to avenge their unfinished work against you, Jean, the one who I declared my vengeance upon.
So it
You
seems.
and I. Sorry. He raises his shield now, takes up a stance and goes, You and I will decide what the fate of this order is. I, the last member of the Order of the Silver Dragon, will ensure that it does not die.
And I will return. It will not. For today. For today, I glance up at the statue beside us. On the eve of Barovia's healing, I shall put you to rest. I shall put you to rest.
Yes.
And take Argen Vastholt for the purpose its master intended.
He looks at you and he goes, If you think you can, then try. And on that, I'm going to need you to roll an initiative with me.
15.
Quick roll. And where the heck is that song? It's been a while since I've pulled out this track. There we go. All right. So it looks like he's going to be taking the first. And I'm going to presume it's working because it's glitching out like an echo on my end. So he is going to step forwards, and he is going to attack you.
Creak.
Sorry, brief distraction there. His armor creaks as he raises his rusted sword in order to attack, and you just easily deflect it, just knocking the blade out of his hands.
And his whole arm comes up.
Your arm's off.
Alrighty, and he's just going to use his action to run over there and pick up his weapon, but that's going to use it up. So, Jean.
Okay, so I'm not going to spend my action making persuasion checks, but I'm going to speak to him as we duel.
Mm-hmm.
Commander Horngard. In life, you're a nobleman. I know that to look at you and face you. But your time has passed, and your duty is done. Today, at last, I beg that you let go. One hit and one natural one.
Alrighty, so the first attack hits, so go ahead and roll the damage for that. The second one, as okay, you come in and land a slash on the, and slash across his enemy, but as you come in for the second strike, he bashes it away with his own shield, once again sending it clattering to the ground, reflecting exactly what you did. And he goes, Not today. Not any other day. Give me one damn reason why I should be the one to die. Why our memories should be forgotten. Why you should trample all over them.
I'll let him say that, and I'll pick up my sword on my next. Would it be part of my movement to retrieve my sword, or?
I will say that yes, because I did exactly the same with him.
Okay, I'll retrieve it, and you know what? I'm going to say to him, just brandishing my blade. You speak of memories lost. As though dying erases what you have done. As though those who remain will not bear the torch of your legacy. And that'll be my turn.
Alrighty. We then come back to him, and he then goes
can we do something too?
Sure. What are you planning to do?
We're just gonna take the cart to the tomb.
Okay.
While Mr. Undead Guardian is being distracted.
Go ahead and make me stealth checks, all of you.
We've got a cart, so I don't know.
don't think there's gonna be much stealthing.
I mean, we're just like, cool, John, you got this, bye.
Even you.
To be fair, Elias has no idea what's going on, but if they see if they see everyone else start to move with the cart, they'll join in on that.
Okay, I'll give you choices.
Jean has curb stomped this guy a couple times before already. He's fine.
Okay,
I'm
gonna say you could either do a stealth check to try and do it sneakily, or I'm trying to decide if it should be. I'll say an animal handling check to try and get it to go fast. It's essentially whether you want to try and be stealthy or just leg it.
I can assist on that.
Yep. Might as well, just to see if it's a crit.
I don't think it would help anymore.
Well, I mean, let's see if it's a crit. I doubt it, but
It got
Hey, fire.
It's still fairly high, so I mean, it's not like you instantly zip off because it is a very heavy skull, but you do start moving very, very fast. And as he sees this, he goes, "Don't you dare!" And he's
your mark is on John. Bye.
And he's gonna run this way to try and catch up. Jean, you can make a attack of opportunity at this point.
26.
That's a hit. Go ahead and roll the damage as you strike him in the back, and a very harsh hit. He just grunting.
I'll say to him, your quarrel is with me. At the very least, let his memory be respected while we handle our business.
He lets up Amicus. Fine. He raises his blood and goes, if it's the last thing I do on Gaspard de Varier, I will take your head! And he is now going to go back to you and take his attack action. So,
Bring it.
Just go to... Okay, he's going to unleash 2 attacks.
One hit.
One hits and ends really doing 6 slashing damage. But as he goes in to try and level it up, you raise your little sword again, easily parrying it out of the way, looking him firmly dead in the eye. Meanwhile, I'm going to say... Okay, it is going to take 2... With that high roll, it's going to take you 2 rounds to get there. So, Jean, you're up. Keep it in mind that you know time is short. However you want to defeat Vladimir, you have these few seconds to do it.
Okay. I'm going to... Yeah, honestly, I'm going to keep trying to wear him down as he comes in with that second slash. I'll raise my shield and just return to my neutral stance and say, Commander, you cannot stop us here. Have it the dawn of a new age, far beyond what you have ever known. Is at our feet. Your met and in it, I shall carry your legacy and the memory of all you stood for. What you fought to achieve. I'm going to attack.
Okay.
19 and 24.
Both of those are hits. So, go ahead and make your damages. You follow him with a slash, one after the other.
27.
Oh, those piled on greatly as they continue to batter away at his... as they continue to batter away his body. You can see that his body is not as strong as his old one. It is piling it on. He's looking weak as he's already looking weakened and scarred. And go ahead and add me a persuasion check.
I'm going to see if I can't make this with advantage, as I'm going to add something to that by saying,
Right.
Had to wave at someone. I'm certain you are aware of the story of the second blade I carry with me. But have you any idea the tale behind the blade I use now? I wield it in memory of the one I intended to wield it. A brother long lost to me. Dead before he could ever become a knight like us. I carry it with me always. A memory I shall only lay to rest when my duty is done.
Alrighty. Make me a persuasion check. Okay. It's not with advantage, but it may have affected the DC. That's all I'll say.
Fucking shit.
Unfortunately, he looks back at you into the eyes and goes, noble sentiment. But I have lost far more. I have lost my order. I have lost my men. I have lost my lover. I have lost my purpose. I have lost everything. This is the one thing that I have, Jean Gaspard de Varier. And if you can take that away from me, I'd like to see you try! As he on the full force with his blade. That first attack is a miss. You manage to get your blade up just in time to block that, and then at this point, you can just see that he's just running on wild motion at the moment, just like wildly swinging. And he's not attacking he's just using brute force and no finesse at this moment. And meanwhile, as this is going on, the rest of you have reached the back of the mausoleum where you are. You see where you saw that spot before, and you all start carrying the skull. Jean, you now know that there are only seconds before this battle is done, and this is your last turn.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to say, circling around him. As I take this hit, I'm just going to, because I've wanted to do this, I'm going to imagine it just sort of down the cheek like so, because I want to add that to his artwork later. And I'm going to circle around him, just calm even while taking hits, and say, You think I don't understand? This is all you ever were, and what you see before you is all I have ever been. A man without loving parents, without purpose, without anything but his siblings and drink. I'm going to attack twice.
Go for it.
26 and 18.
Both are solid. Let's see. I got 18. Yeah, both are solid hits. Go ahead and roll the damage as you do the classic cross attack that has saved you multiple times in the past.
19.
You slam the blows on him. You wonder, is that enough? As he reels backwards, and then at the last moment, like, digs his blade deep even to the ground. Goes, no. And it is at that point. Oh, go for it.
$23 and $25.
Both hit. Roll your damage.
22.
Okay. You slam both blades in, ended him rolling back at his feet, knocking the sword out of his hands. He stumbles backward. And then, as he stumbles back, we swap scenes at the far side. You guys have already hurriedly managed to get the skull and place it in the plaque. And it's as that happens, as that happens, there is a sudden rush of air. And you hear a voice say, "Thank you." And as Vladimir stumbles backwards in his complete, just out of blood, you suddenly both become aware of a bright light. The rest of you as well rush outwards as you feel this pulse of energy, and you look up behind you and you see the beacon, this huge tower above nearby the mausoleum, is now lit. A bright silver flame that even against the dark, misty sky is shining so brightly that it can be seen from literally anywhere. As you look up, John, you turn around and you Vladimir is once again on his feet, and he drops his shield and then falls to his knees. Let's go. How long has it been? I'd forgotten. It's beautiful, is it not?
I would like to move to his side. Just place my blade in the ground before me and say, as beautiful as anything, the light in the darkness.
He smiles and looks at you and then goes, Jean Gaspard de Valier, I have not earned the right for any last requests of you to pay attention to any of my last words. But make sure this flame never goes out again. Ensure that it lasts.
As he looks up, I would, before he moves on, because I know that's coming, I would just like to say, By my blade, it shall be mine until life leaves me. Commander Horngard. Commander Vladimir Horngard. I step in front of him, blade at my side by my legs just planted in the ground, place a hand on his shoulder and say, when you reach the other side, perhaps you will run into a boy who always so loved tales of great knights and warriors. Tell him his brother loves him. And know, in the silver light of dawn, I forgive you.
You see the last signs of a smile etch across his lips. And from that point, he goes motionless, silent. You look back at the lights, and you can see that it has indeed, even at the sadness of this moment, you cannot help but feel emboldened by this light. And that maybe in Barovia, anyone who is good and pure, who wants to try and make a change, will be emboldened in a similar way. By which I mean mechanically, everyone of good alignment now gets +1 to their AC and saving throw throughout the rest of the campaign while they're in Barovia.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
I'm so glad
So literally, it is a nationwide cloak of protection.
Pretty
I'm so
much,
glad
yes.
I'm neutral good and not just neutral.
There is a
+1
reason
saving
why.
throws as well.
Yeah, on saving throws as well. Alrighty. And so, with that, that's grand adventure all done. We move on to, we go back to the world map as you all start to shuffle out one by one.
And I had meant to do this somewhere else entirely, but man, actually, no, I'm not going to commit to that yet. I want that to be end of campaign stuff.
Okay. In that case, with all this behind you, the thought of everything that happened weighed on your mind, and feeling a sense of courage coming from this beacon, which you've noticed now, you can be seen like anywhere in Barovia. It's now also acting as a guiding point, even throughout all the mist.
I'm just imagining, like, from the perspective of Castle Ravenloft, it's a big silver.
Yeah, kind of.
Now, let's just hope none of them know that they just have to knock the skull off the pedestal again to get rid of it.
We'll see.
We'll see him coming, I think.
I mean, hopefully it's like, sacred ground so they can't tread on it. Hopefully.
Indeed. As you continue, you come round to...
I'll be right back.
Okay. I'll say for the moment, John is silent in contemplation, taking everything in. And you continue through the lanes, through familiar ground. You come past Lake Baratok and crossing over the bridge. You can see the familiar towers that added in the distance, still up there for the moment. And it is about this point you slowly begin to reach the town of Kresk, which this is a town you've not been to before. It's an area which you believe, and sorry, it's more a village you've not been into before. From what you remember, someone had suggested this, saying that it has a holy ground that might have been able to exit Arena if you hadn't been able to get there first.
As we get closer, but before we get in, Elias just asked them to pause for a moment. Looking back at the light that now shines through Barovia and brings courage to everyone, I am reminded about how much of a coward I have been to this point. You have shown a lot of courage for people that I barely know. I only know what Strahd has told me about you, what I have learnt to this point. And I also have promised to tell you my secrets, because, well, I just can't run forever. I did work for Strahd. Strahd plucked secrets from my mind. He knew all about me. I also find safety in the fact that he controlled who entered and who leave this domain to some extent. But it was an alliance of necessity, and whilst I worked with Strahd, I had to do many evil things. And I do thank you greatly for destroying Strahd, because I was afraid of him. I didn't think anyone had the strength to do so until I saw you do it. And I did pick my moment to join you until after your half-orc friend had departed, because he worked with the one they call the Bloody Crow, part of a group of monster hunters who are hunting me. Now, I want to make amends for what I've done. Not just to the people that Strahd has done evil to, but people I've known, like Eladar, Elavari. It's been weighing heavily on me. So, I guess I should tell my story that I, like many Dark Elves, inhabited the Underdarker realm, networked caves beneath the surface world. My mother Freyalise was queen. I wasn't an ideal daughter. My sister Yuna was obsessed with power, whereas my interest lay elsewhere, beyond the Underdark. I like to sneak out and seek adventure on the surface world, much as I guess we do now. But it's during one of my frequent slippings out of sight where my mother, the queen, was assassinated. And in my absence and my foolery, Yuna had become fanatical, believing the Drow should spread their influence further than Freya foresaw. He was power mad and took it by any means. Without any opposition, she grew devotion and his strength for the underworld, which is what she wanted all along. And that's why they're hunting me. She accused me of killing my mother. The monster hunters are seeking me for it. And I had to escape. I've been hiding here ever since in disguise. Being trapped here was a blessing in disguise, in fact. God blackmailed me into service, as you know by now, threatening to expose me. But I can see the light now. And although it's against my best interests, I will fight to remove the curse of Strahd.
Cue credits.
Could you fake your death?
I had hoped adopting a different persona, that of Elias, would be sufficient, being as I thought no one could come here, but seeing those monster hunters as werewolves seemingly coming and going as they please, and I know they are seeking a drow, it brings concern to me. But I'm not concerned anymore with who I was. Now I'm Elias. That's important, who I am right now.
Yeah, but they're still hunting you, though.
Yes. And they may well do till the day I die. But I'm tired of running.
Well, as far as my concern goes, who you say you are, and the actions you have taken by the name you have given us are what matters. Elias.
Did everyone just get kicked out of Roll20?
Oh my gosh, I think so.
Yeah, I
I'm
just
still
did.
there.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody's gone.
Yeah, it's just me on the screen right now.
They've separated
Yeah,
us!
same here.
They've separated us! We had some technical difficulties. Jonan is on mobile at the moment, but we're gonna... the show must go on.
Indeed. So with that, I'm just gonna find that music track, and we'll be on a roll. So, I believe in terms of the conversation, Keldrin was bringing up to Elias if it was a good idea to fake his own death.
Well, presently Elias will prestidigitation away the skin pigment they just used, the powder rather, and the polish from their hair. Not like they've got a bunch of tar in their hair like a grease monkey.
So Elias looks like Elias again.
Yes. Really, I honestly hadn't planned telling anyone this. My original plan had just been to hide forever. But we may have to deal with it when it comes to it. I mean, my plan is just to kill them.
Well, hopefully it will not come to that, and we are able to bring them to their senses.
I understand.
Bigger problems right now.
Indeed, and I think that is one of the reasons it was so easy for me to slip around them. But if it does come to me or them, I will choose me. As I have done.
That's one of the reasons why I can't trust you.
Don't have a retort for that, it's quite fair.
And with that, sorry, go ahead.
So, Kresk.
Yeah, at that moment, you start coming up to the place, and I have the description here. At first, you read a junction. The road branches north and climbs a rocky escarpment, ending at a gatehouse built into a 20-foot high wall of stone, reinforced with buttress of 50 feet or so. The wall encloses a settlement on the side of a snow-dusted mountain spur. Beyond the wall, you see the tops of snow-covered pines and a thin whittle of wisps of smoke. The somber toil of a bell comes from a stone abbey that clings to the mountainside high above the settlement. The steady chime is inviting, a welcome change from the deathly silence and oppressive fog which you have grown accustomed. It's hard to tell at this distance, but there seems to be a switchback road clinging to the cliffs that leads up from the walled settlement to the abbey. And as you approach the gate, the air grows colder as you approach. Let's see. The air goes colder as you approach. Two square towers with peaked roofs flank a stone archway into which is set a pair of 12-foot-tall iron-bound wooden doors. Carved into the arch above the doors is a name, Kresk. the walls extend from the gatehouse. The walls that extend from the gatehouse are 20 feet high. Atop the parapet, you see 4 figures wearing fur hats and clutching spears, watching you nervously as you approach.
Do we just give them a friendly signal? Wind Waker again?
I'll call. I'll call up to the. I'll call up to the watch. Hail up there! We come in peace, and we do not intend to stay long. Just one matter of business here.
They give a brief pause. Then they start chatting. I'll bring the guards in now. They give a brief pause, chat amongst themselves. Then one of them goes, "Hold on a moment." One of them then gets down, and for a moment, about a couple of minutes passes. You're left thinking, "Wait, what the heck's going on?"
Did someone super perceptive hear their chatter, even at this distance? We're quite far away, so if it's no, I understand.
You can make a perception check, but it would be a really high DC.
Okay. I'll give it a go.
Yeah, feeling lucky.
Apparently so.
Ooh,
Well, that's a natural 20.
not as lucky as others.
Yeah. Maldraff, you can... Seth, you are... At the moment, you're focused more on Elias after that revelation, just to make sure they're not planning anything. Maldraff, you can hear... You get the idea that the chatter is tense, but you don't really know what's going on. Meanwhile, Elias, you just, especially right now, you do not want, after you've shown the vulnerability to the others, you don't want to let anything sneak up on you, because especially not after this day. So you shoot in your ears, and you can just faintly hear the conversations between them, and they're pretty much saying, but they seem like a pretty big deal that guys were thinking of it. So we might as well get the Borgo Master here, I suppose. Yeah, but we don't want them anywhere fucking near us. You see what's happened to all the other places they've got to, right?
Okay.
And...
I am gonna sleight of hand, as in whisper, the rest of them. They know who you are, and they think you have a chaotic reputation.
To be fair, they're not entirely wrong. But on the other hand, you should have seen those places if we didn't help them. Like, that's completely different.
I wasn't super quiet with that either, apparently.
Yeah. But on one of the...
John? You should show them the symbol and say that we're on pilgrimage. Maybe that'll help. Like the symbol that we found.
Yeah.
At that point...
My symbol?
Tasha Petrova is who we're looking for.
At that point...
Yeah.
A man in fancy clothes steps on top of the hill and looks down at you and goes, "Right. I am the Borgo Master. My name is Dmitry Kreskov. What is it you wish?"
I will display the pendant and say, We are travelers on a pilgrimage. We seek... What's the name, Nika?
Tasha Petrova.
Thank you. We seek Tasha Petrova.
He looks at you, then goes, "You are having a pilgrimage. Have you not seen what's going on around here? It's absolute chaos, and you are just marching to a church on the outskirts?"
We have our reasons.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
Everyone has reasons. I need to know yours.
There's a thing there that might help us stop the chaos. We'll be gone, real quick.
I'll add to that. I do not claim to know exactly what ails your village specifically, but as it stands, I might as well level with you, I suppose. We act on behalf of Vallaki, and those there attempting to put an end to all of this.
You see him just. As soon as you mention Vallaki, he just sort of buries his hands and starts munching around the walls. And following your natural 20, Eli, so you can hear him go, "Oh my god, again! I can't fucking deal with this." And it stares back and look, Vallaki's problems are your own problems. You'll get attacked by Strahd or whoever else is now getting death threat. I get it, but you have your problems. We have ours.
Sir, could you please make eye contact with me, please, so I can speak with you? Did he make a will save?
Oh. No.
DC 15. Damn it!
Oh no!
He knows then. He knows I tried to do it.
Emerson goes, Oh, I see. That's your bloody game. He thumbs back at the floor and goes, You can send your soldiers, you can send travelers as much as you like, but we have made our position perfectly clear. We like to survive. We are not interested in whatever crazy scheme you've got. Strahd's dead, and something evil has already come up to take its place. What makes you think it's not going to happen again?
I will call up. We know because we saw. We killed him, and we will kill this new threat.
He actually goes, actually, you're pretty confident in your luck. And if you fail, what happens to us?
Then we're...
The same thing that happens if we don't do anything at all. You all die. So what do you want to do?
No. You are all going to die in the luck. We are staying here and staying out of it. At the very least, if we die, there's a good... at the very least, if we stay here, there's a possibility that we can at least bargain favor, which would be hard to do if we lend aid to the people who claim to kill Strahd.
I will offer a nod to that, and then say, your position is understandable and not enviable. So, group, what do we want to do? He seems to have dug his heels in.
Quietly, so the people on the wall can't hear me. I say, well, we could just go around a bend so they can't see us, and I can turn into a cat and just go find the place.
Also quietly, they'll never see me slipping in either.
So, I also quietly, and also just turn my back in case they're lip reading away. Walk away and then slip in stealthily. Obviously, I'll stay behind because I can't stealth and creep to save my life, and that's come up before.
I'll add. Man, do I want to add? I'll turn my head to the others, lower my voice and say, we split the party, and then what happens if trouble arises up on the hill? Well, we're hundreds of feet away, and you're trapped with gods know what.
There shouldn't be. It's a holy place.
We've seen what happens to holy places.
I can make the least stealthy person invisible. It wouldn't cover your sound, but it would certainly help.
In a hushed voice, Seth says, surely we can get most of the way in the tree line. And then we can do the subtlety there. It's not much distance between the two.
It's supposed to be in the west, in a graveyard in the west, in a garden of roses where the roses never stop blooming. So I'm guessing it's up here in the abbey, and we can slip in there like in this tree line pretty close. So I think we're good.
I'll say in that case, I'll shake my head and say again in a hushed voice, do as you will, I suppose, but I find it an unwise risk at this juncture. And then out loud I'll say, so be it. You wish nothing to do with us. And so we will take our leave under the proviso that when the shadow of a Barovia is lifted, I have full rights to return to you and tell you I told you so in a most unholy manner. Good day.
Good day, he says in like the most he says through gritted teeth, and with that he starts speaking. He steps down, and you all head back to the tree line. And at this point, are you all going to sneak in through the tree line?
Can I quickly check if they're still watching us?
I will say that they are still watching you. The guards are still on they're pretty much just they're patrol guards who are just watching everything that's happening here.
But they're not making any effort to follow us, though.
I will say no, they're not making any attempts to follow you specifically. They're just standing on the wall and watching.
So how about we follow the road to about here, and then dump the cart somewhere in here, and then go up the forest.
Okay, so I'll move you guys over there for now.
The cart and the horses.
Must apologize.
Somewhere.
He had a much stronger will than I imagined.
I don't think there's any convincing people there that is that self-centered.
I'll say to Elias, if you mean that he was as stubborn as an ox, I agree.
No, I mean I attempted to sway his mind magically and it didn't work.
Oh. Well, I mean, I get that he doesn't want us in there. I totally get it. But, let's stash the cart and I'll go cat.
Alrighty, so you're turning cat. Are you still going to head with the invisibility, Elias? Or?
Not until we get there. It doesn't last very long.
Yeah, so we should stash the cart somewhere here so it's out of the side of the road.
Okay, so...
And then the entire party makes their way up here-ish. I think that's probably a safe distance.
Okay.
That's almost 400 feet away from the wall. That should be safe.
Indeed. That said, go ahead and make me stealth checks, everyone.
Oh, mother of God.
I cast Pass Without a Trace. Everybody gets plus 10.
That's not gonna help my natural one, but thank you.
Alrighty.
Oh, god damn.
Okay, that was actually a 22.
Okay, so...
Mother of God, Elias!
I got plus 10 to it, so it's, another plus 10 on top of the already double proficiency in stats, so it's like...
Alrighty. Everyone...
Okay, they've definitely lost your trail at this point.
We're past about a tree. You all disappear straight into the tree line. No one really picks up on you. The closest it gets is the the closest it gets is there's I mean, you occasionally hit from a distance. A guard kind of looks curiously at the tree line, but he is a bit of clanking. But then just sort of turns his friend and goes, "Hey, the deer are making a lot of noise today, aren't they?" And then,
yeah. So seeing how noisy Maldrath was at that point, when we get to the point where we're going to get out, I will definitely cast invisibility on him. That will give him advantage on stealth.
Okay, and you sneak through the tree line out of the direction of you obviously through the tree line, just completely undetected at this point. It's a steep climb up the hill, but you do eventually reach it. And
stop about here.
Sorry, it's maps. You stopped?
Stop about there.
Okay. All right, and then what do you
So
do?
many pings.
Yeah.
And that's just Maldrath's armor.
Okay. Yeah, so stopping around here then? Or...
It's still in the tree line.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, still with the tree line. Gotcha. Okay. So I get it. All right, and when you're in that tree line, what do you plan to do from there?
So my plan still is I take the amulet, I go cat or crow or something domestic, pigeon, dunno. I fly over there, I find the grave with the roses, I touch down, I poof out, I touch it to the thing, I take the thing, I poof back into pigeon, I fly back here, everything's settled. Bada bing, bada boom.
Okay.
Profit.
In that case, I will say you'll stay to the tree line for now. I will place a token there. I'll also get a the token for MVL, and
Yeah, Elias is going to go anyway. They feel relatively confident that, especially with the magic of Pass Without a Trace, that they are almost undetectable.
Okay. So,
I could also go cat and try and sneak through this area, but it's like super steep there, isn't it?
It is. It's like it's a very steep hill, like about 700. It's about 700 feet.
Flying might be better.
Alrighty. So, on vision on 20. Okay, that is all good. And I am then going to bring you and Eldraine over to the next map.
I'm just checking if I have polymorph, then somebody else can come with, but I don't think I do. Nah.
I can cast invisibility on someone, so someone else can come with me invisible.
They seem to have been rendered blind.
Honestly, if someone else comes with...
But we're probably best off with as few people as possible.
Okay, I'll put you all in the tree line now. Let me let you know when you can see.
Honestly, I would say probably make Keldrin invisible. Because I'm staying here, Maldrath's probably staying here.
Yeah.
Well, Keldrin's going to be an animal, so it shouldn't cause much attention anyway. Till out of that form.
It could be an invisible animal, that would be even better.
That is true. I can do that.
And plus, your dexterity isn't the world's highest, so...
Yeah.
Okay, so... you should all now be in the church. Does everyone have vision?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
I can't see anything.
Okay. Oh, that's because I haven't brought in Elias. That might be why. Let's forget something. There we go. Elias, you are now here. And camera should be over here.
Oh.
Alright.
Alright.
I can see everything.
Alright, so let me just give you the description as you arrive. As you approach the abbey, you see that okay, that doesn't really happen. You see that From the side of the hill, you can see that the road from the village climbs above the mist to the wide ledge on which the abbey is perched. A light dusting of snow covers the trees and rocky earth. The gravel road passes between two stone buildings. To either side, there stretches a 5 feet each 5 feet high, 3 foot thick wall of jumbled stones held together by more. Blocking the road are iron gates with rusty hinges, which do appear to be unlocked, but thankfully you're going up the hills, so that is actually doesn't seem like it's going to be a problem for you. Viewed through the gates, the stone abbey stands quiet. Its two wings joined by a 15-foot high curtain wall. A belfry protrudes from the rooftop of the closer north wing, which also spots a chimney bellowing grey smoke.
So, Elias, can you turn me invisible? Then I can go with something more substantial that can take a hit, maybe.
Before Keldrin and everyone splits up from the group, I would just like to do this.
Oh, thank you.
Guidance. Okay. Yes, good call. So, Eldrin, as you begin to see the Maldrath prays for you and offers you guidance, and Elias, you are turning her invisible.
Yes.
In that case, I'll shift to Giant Eagle, and I'll take the amulet in my claw and not shift it into me.
Okay. And with that, you begin to fly up, and first off... I'm
flying away and then high up. I want to make as little noise as possible, and therefore be far away from anybody who could hear giant wing beats.
Okay. So, you fly up and high above, and make me a perception check real quick.
I do still technically have Pass Without a Trait cast on me. Perception check. Advantage because Giant Eagle. I'm looking for roses.
Okay.
In the west of this abbey.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay. So, you notice around... You notice that, actually surprisingly close. The graveyard is right here. You see that there are a bunch of... You see, as you fly up directly there, you have to use Fierce of the Mind because I don't think I've got a Giant Eagle form set up, but I'll have a quick look.
Whatever, it's me.
Yeah. So, I'll do that, two sides. But yeah, I got a giant vulture. We'll use that for a moment. Okay, so you have flown over to it, and you can also see from your vantage that two figures are also in. There doesn't seem to be any guards outside, apart from two figures who are seeming two gate guards who are right at the top. Although curiously, although they're wearing clothes, you can see that they're not in the best body shapes. In fact, their bodies seem to be weirdly contorted and misformed in the same way that Cyrus was, the servant Strahd.
Oh, interesting. How far away can I see graves and roses?
Yep, right here where you are now.
Cool. How far away are they? Like how quickly would they get to me if they see something weird happening?
The guards are over here.
I didn't see a ping.
Okay, so they are about. Let me just do a quick measuring thing. They are about 100 feet away from you, so you should be.
Okay. All right. In that case, I will go down. I'll just glide so I don't make wing flaps. I will go down stealthily, and I will land on the grave that seems the most covered by roses, I guess. Let's start there.
Okay. So you fly down, and there is a grave that's nearby. First off, the stunted pine trees grow out of the rocky earth of the graveyard near the formation of the abbey's north wing. The windows of the structure are cracked panes of leaded grass. Ancient gravestones burst from a thin crust of snow, and even from up here, you can see that this the view from down here is incredible as it stretches out towards the forest. It would have been if in better times in
I like this place.
Yeah,
I like this place a lot. It's very aesthetic.
You have a feeling that if anything ever returns to normal here, this would probably be quite a beautiful spot. And you notice, you then notice that one of the graves had a massive X carved across it, and it bears a 3-inch diameter sun-shaped indentation on its east side, and engraved throughout it is the name Petrovna. Petrovna.
Oh, that was surprisingly easy. I'm just gonna land on the grave and with my talon kind of try and press the amulet onto the sigil.
Alrighty. Part of me is tempted to make you do a dexterity check, but I'm not that mean. You carefully land, still invisible at the moment, and you're trying to slowly edge it. It takes a couple of tries because you are using talents, but you manage. But you manage to slot it in, and then, as it puts in a ray of golden suns. Hang on, there's something different. You slot it in, and a ray of golden sunlight breaks through the clouds to the west and shines upon the grave. The fog and the gloom sink from its brilliance as the sunlight causes the gravestone to crack and crumble. And within sight, you see a ring glinted in the sunlight.
Yoink! Up and out.
Okay. Make me one quick I'll check as you're doing this. I'll say with advantage because you're...
Yeah, you're still invisible.
And I still have concentration on pass without a trace. So
I have a feeling this is going to be very high, but still.
26.
Yeah, so as you quickly grab the ring and fly back, literally by the time as you fly away, you can see, literally by the time you're back with the others down the cliff, you can just see the watch up and go, huh, that's unusual. Better go and tell the boss just in case. But by then, you're already far, far away from the place and have landed back.
The others here. Ow! Ow! Okay, I got it. I got it. And I hold out the ring to Maldrath and John.
I say, well, that went considerably better than anticipated. Elias, Maldrath, would you care to help me identify this?
I'll take out a pearl ring, slot it onto my gloved hand, and then touch the ring as well.
Okay.
To identify it with the identify spell.
Oh, you got identify. Okay,
Yes.
In that case, that's a check. So you will see that it is taking 10 minutes in the cover of the trees. You notice that it is a ring of regeneration. It will appear in the journals now, but whoever wears this ring, they gain 1d6 hit points every 10 minutes, provided that you have at least one hit point. If you lose a body part, the ring causes the missing part to regrow.
Holy crap!
Well, that's a thing that happened.
This is a very powerful item. When you wear it on your person, you will regain your health. And even if you lose parts of your body, you will regain them after a certain amount of days.
Wow.
That is incredible, even by the standards of what we've seen here.
Thanks, Miss Petrova. When this is all over and done with, we should definitely come back to these guys and be like, "Hey, do you want this back?"
Well, maybe we shouldn't.
I agree with Maldrath.
Yeah, they were kind of dicks. Okay, let's go back to Vallaki and sleep.
Alrighty.
In terms of who gets the ring, I vote it should probably be Jean, because he is sort of frontline and would probably benefit the most from it.
Yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer, really, for him.
Yeah.
Voted most likely to lose limbs.
I mean, at this rate.
That's a hell of an accolade to put in your yearbook. Most likely to lose a limb.
I'll just add that to. Oh my god! I saw
Jean Gaspard de Valier, most likely to lose a limb.
And with that, we are back. You begin in the long road. Sorry, you begin to travel back to Vallaki, and you can feel that I was growing weary. You're elated by your recent successes, but at the same time, you've also been thinking to yourself, "Man, it has been a really, really long day." So,
yeah, that it has.
I mean, to be fair, we've not had a proper rest in I don't even know how long. We've we've beaten Strahd and not even had a proper rest.
Oh my god, guys, we're going to sleep in the bed.
Okay. And so over that, you're not making back to Vallaki, and you can there's as you go back, you see the bustling people. You see the people bustling about, grabbing weapons and preparing themselves for battle. And it's funny, in a sense that it is panicked and chaotic, but there's also strange, quiet confidence. This is the first time you've seen people of Barovia almost actively just motivated. You don't know whether it's just blind optimism or just the belief that they can actually win this time, but for once it seems like there is a sense of confidence in this place for the longest. The depression seems to be lifting.
That +1 to saves.
I'd like to as we approach the gates, look up at the beacon and just say, amazing what seeing the light of day will do for the spirits of common people. Well, I suppose this is our final night before do or die, so might as well make the best of it.
Mattress.
Maldrath would like to find a tavern and just get one good meal in, because he's not had like an actual full-blown
That's a good point.
He's going to be like, let's get some good. Maybe they got some barbecue something.
You think of pretty much one place, the Blue Water Inn, and I'm just going to change a few things around in there, but yeah.
Full belly and a good night's sleep, and you can do anything.
So, just some tokens there, but yes, you start making your way there back to the place you haven't actually seen in a while. The Blue Water Inn with Danica at the entrance, smiling and saying, "And hey, I didn't expect. Hey, it's good to see you back. Just wow, it's amazing what you've been able to do in about just 24 hours."
Has it only been that long?
I for the second time that day say, you have no idea.
Is everyone okay from the being captured?
We've seen everyone on was released. It was, I'm grateful to see them again. Many of them have apparently gone missing for weeks, even months. And it's good to know that the vineyard are safe once again.
Oh, we still need to give him the third stone, by the way, out of character. BT dubs.
Hey, it's Roman.
Yeah, Roman's still there.
How busy is the bar right now?
At the moment, people are coming in and going. Some people are going with the same option of, you know what, I'm going to drink tonight and just...
Food?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to come up to the bar and just sort of speak for everyone else as I say, if you would not mind, Danica, actually, we've been on the road for 2 weeks. That was when we left for the Amber Temple. So I'll say, if you would not mind, we are operating on 2 weeks of rations and an entire day of nothing.
And he smiles, and her husband Owen goes, well, for tonight, and only for tonight, drinks, food, and rooms on the house. It's the least we can do for the Slayers of Strahd.
I kind of feel bad because now we actually have cash to pay.
It makes it clear this is the only night, though, we're doing this. You're still paying in the morning.
Understood, of course. Things in the end must get back to normal.
Behold, is Maldras about to annihilate his waistline.
Taking the offer of Maldrath's cowl from before they got in there and some common clothes, Elias will be dressed pretty much to cover up everything. We'll just go over to the counter, pay the money for a room because they're not part of the Killer of Strahd entourage. And
you totally are.
Ooh, would not like to be known as at this point.
Oh, okay. If you tell us beforehand, then yeah.
Pays a room, asks them to ask no questions. I imagine they didn't anyway, and then just goes off. Whatever that is they do.
She gives a smile and then says, "But don't worry. We ask no questions and we keep secrets."
That was very, very concerning way of saying that. Sort of back off slowly.
I don't think that eases the mind.
She gives you a playful smile and just says, "Have a good night's sleep."
I give her a frightful smile back at that. I don't know what to think about it.
And with that, anything else you guys would like to do for the rest of the year?
I would actually like to talk to people, because it occurs to me that the only person in the party I have actually talked to about anything serious is gone.
You all get meals and a drink, and you prepare and you brace yourself, because this will be the last night of drink, rest, and maybe conversation. One night to fill your stomachs, one night to pay your souls, and one night to prepare yourselves for what will be, without a doubt, the day of the last battle. And that's where we end tonight's session, folks.
Woo! And next session is with RP.
All right, my friends, we will catch you next time on The Curse of Strahd.
Holy crap.